And I invite you to focus your attention to your breath and create or practice a yoga mudra gesture with your hand by bringing your thumb and index finger together, forming a circle. And then either way, if you feel like you want to ground for grounding stability, you can place your hands downward. The other fingers are curled. Or if you want to connect with your higher self or get more guidance, connecting to the source, then you may place your palms upward toward the sky and extend the other three fingers, forming a circle with your index finger and your thumb. So follow your intuition or follow which mudra feels better for you or feels right for you. And then listen to all the sounds that's coming from the outside to the inside of your practice area. Imagine any additional sound that may cause a distraction. And then bring your awareness toward the inside of your practice area. Imagine any additional sound that could happen. And then bring your awareness toward your breath, just observing the flow of your breath without alteration or expectation. And then bring your awareness toward the sound of your beating heart, toward the sensation. And then perhaps you can follow the wave from the beating heart all the way to your fingertips or your toes, all the way to the ground of the head. And then consciously try to go into a diaphragmatic breath. Bring it in more movement and fluidity within your abdominals, within your diaphragm, and more energy within your stomach, from the stomach to small intestine, large intestine, and to the spleen, liver, gallbladder, all those internal organs within your abdomen. So consciously expanding the lower abdomen and consciously exhaling completely, bringing your navel towards your spine as you exhale and fully inhale. Noticing all the sensation you get with the movement. not to dwell on any unexplained and like explained sensations like fullness feeling or funny feeling around your navel or any kind of muscle or tendon or kind of just observing without judging. As we're just bringing in more movement, more fluidity, more nutrition, more oxygen into our cells, so the cells can renew itself naturally. And then we shift our awareness from the front of the body to the back of the body as we continue breathing comfortably. Fully expansion of the back abdomen, exhaling, contracting. Noticing the slight massaging effect in the back of our body. And this gently pulsing or wave of breath, the diaphragmatic breath, also brings in nutrition all the way between each one, between our disc, so each space between the vertebrae. So with every inhalation, we nourish and support our tendon, ligaments, especially also the perineal, the lower pelvis floor, going up toward our central nervous system, from the nervous system up into each one of the spaces of the vertebrae, all the way up towards your occipital. Maybe you can sense it from your lower back, the movement behind to your mid back. Perhaps you can even feel it up towards your shoulder blades. And then the wave continues all the way up to the occipital, naturally, all the way actually to the insertion where your head connects with your vertebrae, the cervical spine. So now let's bring your awareness now toward your intent for today. Set your intent, just one or two words that you like to experience or witness. And let's take one final breath, and that concludes our meditation. And then we're going to focus on our asana practice with the intent to be aware of our feeling and our thoughts, intending to be kind to yourself, ahimsa, no pain or no causing any uncomfortable movement to our body, staying within the comfortable. And our feeling body to be grateful and kind toward our body and accepting our body just as it is in this moment. Sometimes that can be the hardest part of to be in the asana practice. So we're allowing our ego to step outside and replace our ego onto a shelf, mental shelf. And then as we're done with the yoga, we can pick up our ego again and let it be part of your life if you choose to do so. So let's take an extra breath in and out. And then let's begin rubbing the palm of your hand vigorously. We'll place them over our eyes 3 times. And then with the 3rd time, placing our hands over your eyes, we open the eyes. We take your fingertips and we're just going to massage in a gentle circle the forehead and the side of the temple with the palm of your fingertips. And then we go down toward your jawline. Open and close your jaw just to relax the mandible. And then we take our finger, index finger and middle finger, and we're just gonna go up your ears. And then we go a little bit below the ears. Now this time we're gonna take the whole palm of the hand and we're just gonna go into a gentle circle underneath our ears, just covering, having our hands right on the whole head, on the whole neck area. Going in a gentle circle. And then from there, we're gonna move our fingers a little bit closer to our vertebrae in the back to the cervical spine. And just use your fingertips again and just massage a little bit your occipital, the lower part of the head and the neck again. And then perhaps take your fingertips and just go in the lower part of the skull, up towards your ears. Those are all part of our nervous system, just helping drainage and open up the fluid release. It's bringing in more circulation. And then from here, we're gonna go back down towards your neck with your fingertips. And then on top of the shoulder. And then we just touch the upper arm, the upper forearm and the hands. So we're waking up our body, signalizing that we're ready for a movement. And then we take your hands over to the thymus gland. We're just gonna maybe tap a little bit on there to activate it and wake up our body. And then from the sternum, we'll go down to the abdomen. You can tap on your belly, out to the side, and then taking your hands and thumb to the back of your body, just tapping on the back, just below the kidney, to get our adrenal glands moving. And then from there, we go over to our buttock. From the buttock out to the side of the leg. From the side of the leg, tapping or just slightly tapping towards your knees. From your knees, going up your thighs, towards your groin. And then from the midline out to the side of the knee again, and from the knee back down towards your calves, and from the calves towards your feet. And then tapping and waking up. Then we just take a breath in and out, and then we turn slightly, or we're gonna turn an easy turn to the right side. So no forcing. Then we come back to the center. As we exhale, we twist gently to the opposite side. Breathing deeply in and out. And then we come back to the center again. If you are on a pillow, I invite you to come onto the floor. Let's extend your legs and let's shake them out a little bit. Let's open our legs into a V and reach with your hands toward your right ankle and the left ankle, and bring in movement a little bit right side, left side. And then allow your body to get into a weaving motion. So bringing in movement, slow, aware, and coming to a still point. Now adjust your feet so your feet point up toward the sky, lengthen your body. Now place your left hand to the inside of your left leg. Turn your right shoulder to the right side. Inhaling, and then bring your arms up overhead and then slide down towards your left leg with your hands. Now, if you prefer movement this morning, you can bend your elbow if you choose. And the focus is on stretching the left muscles on the left side, or the body on the left side. And you can just pulse if you like, holding it steady. So follow your inner guide. What feels right for you? And also, if you choose, you also can take your right arm over towards your left foot. So modifications, things to look forward to, or how you want to do it. And you can also just use your right arm and just pulse forward, stretching it deeper, becoming just bringing in movement. Good. Now we come back to the center with our torso. Let's bring your legs back together toward each other and sit in staff pose. Take your hands next to your hips. Allow your shoulders to be in line and just take a moment of breath, breathing in and out. Again, relax the thighs, relax your knees. The only thing that is engaged is your pelvis floor and lifting upward, lengthening the spine as good as you can. We'll bring in the shoulder blades together, allowing the shoulders to be in line with your ears. Toes point up toward the sky. Noticing as you're holding this pose, any sensations, perhaps noticing as you lift more and more your pelvis or your vertebrae up. So it's like lifting from the tailbone upward, the lengthening. And then isolate your thighs, soften them again. So the muscles that are engaged is just the pelvis, deep pelvis floor muscles. Soften the thighs again, keeping the spine elongated. Now soften the effort, so come soften it. Let's widen our legs again into a V. Notice all the sensation that is invoked. So if you have a lot of strain right here, bring your legs a little bit closer together, so it's a little bit more comfortable. So zero sensation or tension would be good. Now let's place your left hand to the inside of your leg. Turn your left shoulder to the left side. Now hinge downward, and as you hinge downward, you may raise your arm up. Now you may just go into a bouncing again. You can just bounce a little bit forward and back. You can hold it steady. You can bring your arm up over, and you can touch your toes. Keep turning, maintaining that shoulder. Don't bring your shoulder. Try to keep that shoulder up. So you get a maximized stretch in your low back. Now, in a low back, it's more of these muscles in here, the side of the body, the obliques. So you follow your intuition, what feels right for you. The reason why we have the inside of the right leg, so you can turn the upper torso in alignment. Breathing, balancing, or holding it steady, surrendering into the pose without outcome. Slowly raise your torso back up and bring your hands in on top of your thighs. And then we'll bring your leg together. Allow the toes to pointing up toward the sky. Hands, fingertips point away, and the fingertips point toward your toes. Shoulder blades come together. Chin is maybe slightly tucked in still, so your breath is nice and even without restriction. Holding it. Again, focus on lengthening the spine rather than noticing what happens with your arms. So the whole fascia system is stretching the front of the arms, the back of the arms. It's not just the arms, it's also the back of the body and the hamstring. But a lot of muscles are activated just sitting passively in this posture. Now, if you want to bring in movement, you can just hinge slightly forward and backwards. It's a movement that you hardly see on the video. So just coming forward or backwards, I should say, can. It's micro movement. Just light pulsing. And this is not just only working with the back of your body, but a lot of transverse spinalis muscle that comes from your sitting bone all the way to the top of the shoulders, right next to your spine, are lengthened with and activated with just kind of pulsing a little bit forward and back from your hips. And then come to a still point. Release your hands, soften your body again. And let's bring the soles of your feet together, holding your toes. And now we just move our knees up and down. So now we're working with the deep tendon around the sitting bone area. We will keep lengthening your spine. And we're going to move our knees at least for 30 seconds, which is about 5 breaths. Maybe even 10 breaths. But it's just more relaxing breath. So let's go another 15 seconds. And then we will relax our knees for a moment. Bring your elbows in front of your shin and just come a little bit closer down toward the floor. We're stretching the low back to open up the groin a little bit more. Breathing deeply in and out, and notice your lower abdomen expanding. Welcome the expansion of the abdomen. Knowing that as we breathe in deeply and the lower belly expand, we're bringing in movement, fluidity, nourishment into the whole lower pelvis area. Mainly our colon, small intestine, encouraging digestion, vital nutrition toward our large intestine and small intestine. Now, we're going to release our hands from our knees. Let's bring your knees toward each other. And then you can place your hands behind you. And what we're doing now, we're going to just move our knees a little bit from side to side. A little bit from side to side, and just kind of get a sense on how your hip area feels, how your back feels. Massaging a little bit the side of the hip area, the tension fasciata. Just bring in a little bit of movement. And then come to the center. Now, what happens if you try to do it without your hands? Just moving it from side to side. And then we come back to the center. Let's extend your legs and let's reach forward towards your feet and then shake your feet out or the knees out a little bit. Move your ankles right side, left side as you are in this forward fold. Send love and compassion towards your feet and your toes. Then we come into a neutral position. So let's come onto all fours. You can reach backward with your left leg and kind of stretch your toes and kind of really stretching the left leg out and move your arms forward. So you're kind of stretching the left side. Then we come back onto all fours. And then we're extending your left leg, curl your toes under, and then push yourself into a stretch where your right heel is being stretched, your arm is being stretched. And then we come back onto all fours. So gently, let's go into a circle with your shoulders, just bringing in movement into your wrist, forearm, fingertips. Maybe you can, well, the shifting of your weight in the circle also puts on and massages your kneecap, the tendon around your knees, around your patella, and then the opposite direction. So again, bringing in movement. And then coming to a still point. Spread your fingers really wide. Allow your thumb and your index finger, your fingertips to be flat onto the floor, allowing no space between the center of the hand and your fingertips. So they're really flat onto the floor. Turn your toes under and then lift yourself up into downward dog. Now I invite you just to pedal with your feet gently. Right side, left side. Perhaps if you feel like you want to stretch your calf muscle, so you can bend your left knee, put your right foot flat onto the floor. So you're really stretching the back of your left leg, and then vice versa, bending your right knee, and then allow the left heel to come down onto the floor, stretching the left back of the leg. And then perhaps try to do it on both sides. And the bouncing would be from the head toward your feet. So maintaining your heels where they are, your foot where they are, and then you just use your head and you bounce with your head toward your foot. So it's the upper shoulder that bounces more. And you feel perhaps a tension in the back of your legs on both sides. Let's come into a neutral position and stop bouncing. Let's come onto your toes, bend your heels, bend your knees, and hover with your knees over the mat. This is maximum core work, breathing in and out. Holding it. Holding it at least 20 seconds. And now straighten your knees out again, go into downward dog. And then step forward with your right foot in between your hands. And then you kind of lengthen on your left side. So you bring your hip further down and look ahead, straighten your spine. And we're going to step back with your right foot and we step forward now. So we're right foot, we're back in downward dog. Look at your left toe, left thumb, step forward. Looking up. Let's step forward with your right foot now. So we're in forward fold. Bring your arms next to your ears. Now let's bend both knees. Go into like a deep chair pose. And then from a chair pose, coming up. Breathing in and out. And now straighten your knees and back bend. And then bring your hands in front of the Anjali Mudra in front of the heart center, arms next to the body. Now let's step back with your right leg. Let's go into the 5-point star. And now I invite you to squeeze your legs together. Just gently squeeze them together. So don't allow your knees to collapse. Knees are straight. So getting your whole lower abdomen together. You can feel it maybe in your buttock. You also may feel it around your abdomen. So depending on your body. Relax now. Relax. Let's bring your legs toward each other. Take a moment, sense your body. Let's go into a wider stance again, into the 5-point star. And now this time, press your legs apart. Just pressing them apart. Holding them again for 5 breaths. A little bit more. And then we relax your arms, relax your lower body, and stand in Tadasana. Now we're gonna bring in movement of the hip. So with our knees together or legs together toward each other, we're just gonna go into a circle. By bending your knee right side, left side, and that activates a hula hoop motion. And then we go the opposite direction. Just releasing and relaxing a little bit our hip area, the joint in the hip socket. And then we relax. Because we are working with the hip area now, let's just go into internal, external hip rotation. So you can hold yourself against the wall if you choose. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring your heel to heel. So heel to heel on the right foot and left. And we're gonna work with the right side first. So we bring your right big toe toward your heel. Then we start over heel to heel. We move it out in the teardrop movement and bring it toward. Again, heel to heel, teardrop, bring it in. So this is like internal, external rotation. So you may feel it on the left side of your body. And then we're gonna go 20 seconds or 30 seconds, just doing the movement mindfully. Strengthen also the soles of our feet, the ankles and the calf. So it's really good for balance. And let's come into a still point. Divide your body in half and just notice the whole left side of the body. And then notice the whole right side of the body. And then the whole body as one. So now let's go practice that on the right side. Shift your weight 100% to the right, heel to heel. And then teardrop with your left foot. So heel to heel, up and bring it in. So heel to heel, up and in. Heel to heel, up, in. Again, we gotta do it. It's 20 seconds, so it's equal on each side. 5 to 10 breaths. After a while, you're gonna get to know how many breaths are you breathing in 20 seconds? How many times do you breathe? And then let's come to a still point. And now again, divide the body in half, horizontal. Just notice vertical. Just notice the whole left side of the body. Then noticing the right side of the body. And then the body as one. Now we're gonna take another wide stance. And now let's bring your heels toward each other. So we're gonna go into the sun God movement. Palms can be upward. Now this time, we're gonna gently squeeze your legs toward each other again. Just gently squeezing it. So the action would be you feel your gluteus maximus being engaged, perhaps the pelvis floor, you can feel it. You can feel a little bit in your thighs. Elbows you bring in toward the midline of the body. So you maybe feel that in the back of your body. Breathing, holding it another 20 seconds, another 15 seconds there. Just a couple breaths. Focusing on your breath. Again, staying within your comfort zone. So ahimsa are no harm to your body. Kind of engaging between activating the muscles and not activating it too much, right in the middle part of it. Good, and then we release. And let's bring your feet forward. And again, now this time go from side to side with your hip. Bringing in movement, maybe now go into a circle, the opposite direction. And coming to a still point. Now we're gonna widen our stance again. Now we're gonna turn your left foot 90 degrees. Bend your left knee, bring your arms out to the side. So this is the warrior. This will generate heat. Not just heat, physical heat, but also, that's the reason why it's called the warrior pose. It brings up emotions, it brings up thoughts. Challenge is to be comfortable in your own skin, comfortable in holding it. So you again, now we can squeeze gently, activating the lower part of the body by bringing your legs toward each other. So you're not kind of just engaging the quad muscles. So you're engaging the whole body's lower body system. Focusing on the breath. Let's bring your right arm back, lift your left arm up. So we open up the left side of the body and kind of go really deep into a back bend if you choose. Coming forward again. You can bring the movement in again, going back again. Just a gentle movement. Back again toward the center. Let's do it again, third time. Bringing your arm up, going into arching, coming back to the center. Let's straighten your knee. Let's turn your foot forward. Let's bring your arms together. Let's bring your legs toward each other and stand for a moment. And perhaps you can feel tingling, the energy rising in your left side. Take a breath in and out. And now we're going to widen our stance again. And now we turn your right foot 90 degrees. Left foot is at 45. We'll bring your arms out and we'll bend your knee. Now again, we're going to gently squeeze your leg toward each other. So the squeezing is gentle and mindful. Holding it steady. Now we're going to go bring your left arm behind. Right arm comes up and we back bend. And then we come back into the original position. Keep looking over the right arm. And then again, slowly, mindfully. Bringing our right arm up toward the sky, left hand goes behind your back, behind your leg. And last time, bring your arm up, back bending. To release the tension. That was almost 1 minute that we practiced it. Let's bring your foot forward, arms next to your body. Bring your legs toward each other again. Noticing the tingling perhaps on the right side or the warmth that you feel. You can bring your shoulders, palms open, squeezing the shoulder blades together. And you can pulse your arms a little bit backwards. So we open up and bringing in energy and movement. And also fluid that releases our lymph nodes up here. We're just helping to release and the stagnation. Cellular debris, letting it down. And with the letting it go on our physical body, we let also go of expectation toward our body. All those critics that we may have or should do, or our body should respond, just let it go. Good, and then we bring your arms up, exhaling, letting it be released again. Let it flow out into the soil, into the earth. Now, being that we're in forward fold, if you are in the front of the mat, stay there. If you're not, move to the front of the mat. As we are in forward fold, take your hands now next to your feet, and then step back with your wide leg. Look up again, reaching upward. Stretching again, the deep muscles within the pelvis area. Let's step forward with your right foot, keep your knees bent, and step back with your left, looking up, reaching. Feel a gentle stretch again in your quad area, pelvis area, deep muscles within the pelvis. Come onto your left knee, flatten your left foot, raise your torso up, and go into anterior, posterior tilt with the pelvis. Just so gentle, bringing in movement. And then find a neutral position within your pelvis area. Bring the palms of your hands together, elbows is out to the side. If you need to make adjustments here, if you don't feel stable, bring your foot so your knee and ankle is in line. The hip and your knee is aligned on the left side. Once you feel stable, turn your torso to the right side and go into a spinal twist to the right side. Breathing in and out. Holding it steady. If you choose, you also can turn your toe under and lift your leg off the mat. So you would be in this position right here. Modification, but also you can keep it on your knee. Let's release and bring your hands down onto the floor. Step forward with your left foot. So we're back in forward fold. Step back with your right leg. Hold, look up. Come onto your right knee. Raise your torso up. Allow your hip to be over your knee. And perhaps to adjust on your left foot so your knee and your ankle is lined up. And then anterior, posterior tilt your pelvis. Micro movement again, micro movement. You're not going to see them on camera. Micro movements. "20 seconds or 30 seconds. 5 to 10 breaths. Then we come into a neutral position with our pelvis. Place the palms of your hand into Anjali Mudra in front of the heart center. So the Anjali Mudra is just bringing the connection together to your right and left side. Keep your spine elongated, turn to the left, and then bring your forearm or elbow against your left leg. Breathing in and out. Now again, modification. If you choose, you can turn your toe under and rest, just holding it in the position. So you decide how you want to, what feels right for your body and what feels right. Let's release your hands. And let's step back with your left foot so we're on all fours. Let's bring your knees out a little bit to the side. And let's come onto your forearm. So what we do is now I slide pretty easily. I allow my knees to widen as I bring my pelvis forward and then to the back. So I have this gentle motion forward and backwards. Just a couple of times. Again, we're just intending is to bring fluid and movement into the hip socket, into the hip area. Then we come into a neutral position. So bring your hands toward your groin. And this is actually pretty much a setup for the lion and the lion's breath. And the lion's breath or the lion is very beneficial when we feel stuck with our voice or you feel like hard, not being able to talk. So the lion is bringing your right hand, your fingertips towards your groin, looking forward. And then as we exhale, we're making a roaring sound. As we inhale, we raise your head, stick out your tongue, and then as we exhale, ha, ha, looking up with your eyes, ha. Inhale, you can put your head down. Ha, ha. So really open up and allow that flow to come from your throat, deep within. You can make different sounds. Ha, ha. Ha. And then we will let go. Bring your hands forward again. Allow your knees to come together. And then perhaps just leaning a little bit backwards, stretching again the quads. Open the heart center up. Let's not just open the heart. The thymus gland is located in that area. It just activates and opens up the whole area in the front for fluid. And then we come into a seated position. And we situate our body right in the center of the mat. And then we slowly come down onto the floor. You may stretch your body or bend your knees, and you can reach with your hands toward your knees and just maybe rock a little bit from side to side. Just releasing or even I gotta, let's take your hands onto your knees. Allow your knees to part. And now go with your hands, move your knees in the circle using your hands. So releasing any tension perhaps that we feel in our hip area. Using your arms and your hands to bring your knees into a motion, into a circle. And then go the opposite way with our hands. And the opposite circle. Being more mindful of the movement. So your arms, your hands are doing the movement. And then we come into a neutral position. That means we're gonna extend your left leg, keep your right knee bent, and move your right knee a little bit toward the center of your body. Just moving it that way. Perhaps closer toward your chest. And then release the hands so your knee is in line with your hip. And now we're going into a spinal twist to the left side. Let's bring your right knee back to the center. Let's bend your left knee so both knees are bent. Extend now your right leg. Left knee is bent. Bring your left knee towards your midline of the body. When you're doing that, you may feel a gentle stretch deep within the muscles in your sacrum area, or depending on, maybe you feel even a stretch in your groin area, a lingual muscle, tendon. And then from here, you can take one more time, bring your knee towards your chest, then let go, and then align your knee with your hip, and then move your left knee to the right side. Looking over your left arm. So let's bring your knee back again toward the center and extend your left leg and prepare your body to go into final meditation. Meaning your heels are on the outer edge of the mat, or they're on the edge of the mat. Palms are rotated up toward the sky. Focusing your attention towards your breath. And then for today, if your mind is chitter-chatting or don't want to quiet down, you can say, I am whole. I am good enough. I am good. I Or you can say, I control my emotions. Most effective is if you say it out aloud 3 times, then whispering it 3 times, and then silently 3 times. And then it's time for us to come back into the moment. So we're moving, we're stretching our body, we're moving the fingers and your toes. And then we roll over to the right side. And then we push ourselves into a seated position. And then we're going to end the session with a namaste. But before we do so, recall your sankalpa, or the statement of intent. And then I invite you to contemplate on the experience throughout the day. So let's end the session. And once again, with great respect and love, I honor my heart, my inner teacher. Now take a deep breath in and out. Sat Karanama Kinche, victory to a true self. Jaranami Mata Kinche, salutation to the Divine Mother Earth. Place your palms together in front of the heart center, bow your head down toward your sternum. Open your eyes, getting used to light and surrounding. And then
Thanks, Sylvia. That
thank
was
you so very much.